And here we go. We are rolling. This is the Embodied Living Master Class. This class would wake me up at night. It would literally wake me up at night saying, hi, now is the time. And I remember the first time that the embodied living kind of energy was said hi to me was probably at least 6 or 8 months ago. And I was kind of like, oh, okay, I got it, but not now. Not now. And so for the past few weeks, I've been asking questions of what are people looking for? What are the bodies looking for? And embodied living, the energy of that just kept saying, hi. So hi to everybody. Hi to everybody. And who am I? Some of you know me, some of you don't. I'm Maggie Schlarb, and I'm an Access Consciousness certified facilitator and have this absolute joy for inviting people to the possibility of the joy of living in their bodies. And with embodied living is really all about, like, are you willing to have it all? Which means, are you willing to enjoy living in your body? Are you willing to have your reality in such a way that it works for you? Every area, your money, finances, because those are kind of different things. Money, finances, your body, if you have a business, your job, your relationships. Are you willing to have all of that work for you? And yeah, did I just hear a yeah? I think I saw it, yeah. Are you willing to have all of that work for you? Here's what I know. I know that I used to go, okay, well, I can have this, but I can't have that. I can have, I can work on my relationship and then everything else falls apart. Or I can have the relationship and I can stop worrying about what my body's doing, but then the finances fall apart. What if you could have this possibility of the whole of you, the whole you, everything, even the bits and pieces that you don't even know about yet, right? Yeah. It's like, what can you discover about inviting into you and your world and your body today that would allow you to be totally, like, just totally you, totally you, and totally embodied in the brilliance of you, the gift of you, and the infinite being of you. Who would like some of that? Yeah. Me. So that is my demand in my world, huge demand in my world. And it's showing up pretty quickly, and all of these things. And so what else are we going to talk about today? I'm going to give you more about embodied living, some fun things you can play with, and then the invitation to more if you want to, like, take this on a journey with me and other people who are wanting to, like, be like, you know what, fuck this shit. I'm having it. I'm having the body and enjoy, like, not the body that you think you should have if that's anywhere in your world, but I'm having my body and I'm going to enjoy it. And I'm going to include money in that equation. I'm going to include that, you know what, my body, I know my body enjoys yummy things, whether they're soft, fuzzy sweaters, whether it's, a yummy rug, whether it's, however you're flying or whatnot, or actually getting to different places. That requires money in this reality. And so it's like, are you willing to include everything? And I mean everything. I mean if you have an ex that you share kids with, are you willing to include that energy and not be at the effect and be totally embodied infinitely as you, the glorious being who came here to create something that you are here to create, that only you know. Whether you know it now or not, you know. So that is really, I'm like, and there it is. There is embodied living. And so what questions do you have about embodied living? What do you know about embodied living? As the crowd was wild. Yeah. So, okay. So no questions. Here's what we're going to do then. Okay. Because I want to invite you into this energy more so, even more so than where we are in this 10 seconds. Okay. And so wherever you are, like, let's get the energy of embodied living. And for those of you who might not know Access that well, I'll get there. I'll let you know about it in a moment. But get the energy of embodied living. And if energy isn't thing, just tap into, like, be present with what is right now. Right? And does it bring a little joy? Is there butterflies in your stomach? Is there champagne-like sensation? Is there, like, what is present? Is it like a pit in your stomach of, oh God, she's going to invite me to this? Or what is it? I mean, oh God.
Dream, Maggie?
Pardon me?
It feels like an impossible dream.
An impossible dream. Yeah. So what if that weren't the case?
It'd be great.
It would. I know. So what would, let's tap into it more and then see, we'll go there. Thank you for saying that, Sarah Sue. So the impossible dream, what if you were the person to lead everybody to the impossible dream?
That's kind of, yeah.
You're like, and no.
Yeah. It's kind of like, it kind of makes me feel worried.
And what, like, out of curiosity, like, what is the worry?
That someone's going to slap me down hard.
Okay, cool. So I'm not going to do too much clearings on this call because we're going to do a ton in the future, but everything that is, like, let's destroy and uncreate that. Everywhere you're waiting for someone to slap you down, to stop you, to everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate it, please?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And if you haven't heard that statement yet, it's the clearing statement of access consciousness. It starts to shift that energy of those points of view that kind of have locked us into place so that we can't create more. And Michelle just posted in the chat the link to access consciousness. So thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Team Brilliance or Dazzle Brilliance. So what if you were far more powerful than that? Right? What if we look at embodied living, there's, and using the tool, because it is, embodied living is using the tools of access consciousness. It is including your body in the equation. It is like knowing what you know beyond access, beyond anything you've ever studied. It's what you know and including that in. So it's not cutting off the parts and pieces of you that, when you were little, it was like, for me, it was like, you're tall. So I tried to pretend I was small. So energetically, I would get small. And like, see the difference if you're watching this, like what my body would do. Like, notice how, like that. So what if embodied living was going, you know what, this and this and this and this have occurred in my life. I let it affect me for this long. Fuck that. I'm not doing that anymore. No one can stop me but me. No one. They can try. Trust me, they will. They will absolutely try. They will push the buttons. As soon as you open the door to more, that person or people will come in and they will try and grab that joy and rip it from you. I can guarantee you that. Okay? And what if you were so present with you and your body and your knowing that you just saw that and went, interesting.
Maggie, Maggie, I have a question. It's times where I feel like very, very, very powerful. My body, I've been to ESB, then was in Denver. And there's moments where I'm like, I'm so fucking powerful, like, wow. But then I have my moments like what you said, things come out and it's just like, who the fuck is that? It's like, I'm going back. I've been with Access for like a year and a month now, and I'm like totally different. I know that, but then I have my moments where I'm like, I feel like I'm retracting. I'm like, and I hate when that happens. It's just like, it feels like I've taken 100 steps forward and I've lost 75 in that moment.
Yeah, cool. So I'm like, everything that is time to Godzilla, we just run and create that.
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and mountains. Just something to look at with this. So one of the things is to look at, okay, so we when we play with access to consciousness tools, we go, you put the tools to work, they work for you, right?
Yes.
And you're like, holy shit, like, you mean like I'm this magical? And then you go and you go rewind. Let me just see what this back here is like, right? Or like something comes in and it like pops, it pushes that button that hasn't fully like been recalibrated, or the molecules are still like, see me, I'm the button you push, right? And so, and what is it possible that you actually didn't take a step back, that it actually was your invitation to yourself to step up to even greater?
Okay.
And what if you didn't, it wasn't a wrongness, it was like oh, I've been here before and it sucks.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay,
It's
got
like,
it, yeah.
and yeah, it's like, oh, I've been here before. This is cool. It's kind of like, or right?
Yeah.
And what else is possible? And sorry, I'm excited. What else is coming up there for you?
I mean, because like right now I'm nervous because I'm going to COP in August. And so I'm not nervous. I'm just, I can't wait to get there, because I was like, what other change is going to happen,
Yeah.
But there's moments like I questioned for a little bit. I was like, do I really want to go take this class with Gary and Dane? I was like, why am I asking myself this stupid ass question when so much has changed in such a short period of time? It's almost like being afraid to step into your power, more power,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
which is ridiculous.
So what if you didn't judge that? I adore you. So yeah, what if you did, it was like, oh my goodness, like it's like, I love looking at the world through curiosity eyes and more. But the lens of curiosity of like, oh shit, like here comes COP in August.
Yeah.
And I think I need a seatbelt for this one.
Yeah.
Right. And like, and I might even need a booster seat. And what else is possible? What can I choose now? Like, what if we didn't have to wait for that change?
Wow.
And that you chose it. Yeah.
I never thought about it. It's already happened.
Oh, you're afraid of what is.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's I'm like, that's what's going on in the dance of the molecules and everything contributing to you. And the words that came for me are the embodied living of like always inviting in the more, and nothing is wrong. Like truly nothing is wrong and nothing is right. It's a choice. And it's like, okay, what do I have in front of me? Am I looking at it through the kind of this lens of like, oh shit, maybe I'll look at it, maybe I won't. No big deal. Like I do, like I laugh at myself. I'm like, I wonder when I'm actually really going to look at this. Like, I actually like, and there's times where I'm like, holy shit, like, hat on, let's go. Got it? Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. And yeah, what if, are you afraid of your potency, or does it just fucking excite you?
A little bit of both at the same time. It's just like, I can do that. Oh no. More of that. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. And yeah. How are you, like, is it time to lead that so that other people can have it too?
And that's where the anxiety comes of like, okay. Wow.
Mm-hmm. So if there, and you look at this whole picture, like of that, of like, so other people can have it too, but guess what? Other people can have it too by choice. You are not responsible for them. You are not responsible for them whatsoever.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's their choice.
Okay. Yeah.
You just get to be the magical, magnificent you.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm, thank you. Like, I thought my body was buzzing before this conversation. Yeah.
I'll get better than this. Okay. Yes.
How does it? How does it get better than this?
Maggie, can you talk to desire And it's like that need and tug thing, and also making it not non-significant. Because what I find is when I don't desire something, that it's, you know, it's just a kind of, it's okay, I can create it. But as soon as I make it a desire, or I demand it, then that's my surefire way of making sure I don't have it.
Okay, cool. So how much do you love working against yourself?
Apparently a hell of a lot.
Okay, cool. Yay! How does it get better than that?
I'm really good at it.
Oh, good. So yeah, are you making a demand? Like, are you making a demand that it show up, or are you making the demand to prove yourself right?
Well, I thought I was making the demand that it would show up, but as it's not showing up, one assumes I'm making the demand that I'm screwed.
Yeah. So here's what the invitation here is, like the demand of, like, tap into the energy of, so if we say demand, the energy of demanding of yourself, not demanding of the universe, of anyone else, but like, okay, if I were to truly make a demand of myself, of like, I'm having it. Get the energy of that. Right, I'm having it all with EJG, baby.
Just don't believe it.
Yeah. So can you say, I just don't believe it 3 times, please?
I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it.
So all the ShiQ implants holding that in place, will you destroy and uncreate them, please?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, online, shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah.
Interesting. I'd like to throw up right now. So that obviously has a little bit of an effect.
Okay, good. Forgot to mention on the email, bring a barf bag.
This absolutely.
Ride.
My body's obviously saying something.
Yeah, and so as we have this conversation, and beyond this conversation, tap into what your body has to say. Whether you know what it's saying or not, it's like, oh, like I might need a barf bag here. Cool. You know? Like, do I really need one, or just gonna like be with that sensation of like, ooh, something's ready to like be released? Because, you know, like actually looking at the physical body piece of this is like, barfing is your body's way of getting rid of what it doesn't serve it. Right? So yeah. This is an interesting place to go. But what if you could just release, as if your being were barfing up all the shit that's been placed on you, that have kept you in silence, that have stopped you, that have limited you, that have attacked you to keep you where people think that you should be? Would you now let that go?
Yes, and I'd happily throw up if that's what it took.
Okay, cool. Yeah, maybe it will, right? Good, bad, fuck, all night shorts, boys and beyond. Because that's what, like, it's like when you're choosing greater for you, whether it's your connection with your body, whether it's your finances, whether it's relationship, whether it's, and like, those are the biggest things that I speak to, but whether it's, you know, the things you want to surround yourself with, your adventures, your whatever that may be, when you're asking for more, this stuff will show up. And it's in the demand, in some way, shape, or form, you're asking for everything that's been getting in your way to show up, and you can let it go. And here's the deal. In your demand, asking for the ease, joy, and glory with it.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, how much EJG, so EJG is short form for ease, joy, and glory. How much EJG can you now invite into those, you know, the parts of your life that don't seem to be in the place where you think they should be? Right? Like, how much EJG can you be with looking at your bank account? Right?
Absolutely none.
Right. So, and what if one of my things too with that, because it's like, I can sometimes when I start to pick up on other people's money stuff and stuff, because the question is like, what is your reality with it? Right? And whose reality are you in? Who does that belong to? right? And that the embodiment piece, the embodiment living piece, is actually stepping into the demand of knowing when you're being you and when you're not, and not from a point of view of a wrongness, but like, oh, like this actually isn't my reality. Like for the past week since returning home, I've woken up grumpy and sad, and that I know that is not my reality. I know this. So then I started asking questions. I grabbed a session with someone, like I would just text someone in the morning, like, you got time for me? And like jumped in to have a session to open that up for me, right? That's my reality, is like, I jump at it. Like I am like, oh, go. It's like good morning. My eyes wake up and I know that's my reality. So I also know when I'm picking up on the financial piece of people that I can go to my bank account with this, like my body is like, oh dear, what's in there today? Right? So what if you went there with like, okay, I'm going to have ease, joy, and glory with this. And I'm going to, IPOV. I'm going to start IPOVing before the screen even opens up to what's in my bank account. Right? So IPOV, for those of you listening who haven't heard, is interesting point of view. It's a tool and access that really allows you to be in neutrality in space, so that you don't have a point of view and you can have all points of view. You can be like, oh, interesting point of view. I have this point. Sorry, this is my cell phone that I'm looking at my imaginary cell phone. I'm looking at my bank accounts.
Oh, palm reading.
I'm like, oh, 60 billion. Wow, interesting point of view. I have that point of view. Right? It's are you willing to put the tools to work for you? And every time, like, who does it belong to that you don't believe in it?
Mm.
Who does that belong to?
This lifetime, my mother, my father, everyone around me, where I live. It's considered one of the poorest places. I can go on.
Yeah. Are you willing to outcreate that now?
Yes.
Do whatever it takes, no matter what it takes.
I thought I was before.
Cool. So what if, are you already doing what it takes? It's just not showing up the way you think it should.
Yeah, in some ways.
In some ways, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
as long as it's little.
It's not like, have you decided it needs to come in little increments?
Possibly.
Yeah. How fun is that?
It's not helpful.
It's like, it's kind of like with your body. It's like, this part of you can have cream today. The rest of you, no.
That's it.
You got to go dry. Yeah. Would you be willing to expand out?
Yeah. And
allow yourself everything, like literally the universe is truly waiting to gift to you. It really doesn't have, like, I kid you not, I've had more and more experience of like, oh wow, the universe really does have my back these days. Like these days, because I do. Right? It's like, for example, like what if you, like, sorry, I'm just getting more comfortable. What if, like, really all of life came to you with ease, joy, and glory, no matter what it looked like? And that was the invitation for you to step in and lead your life in and embody everything that you are, everything that you be. Those choices that and just allow yourself the choice, and don't look back. Don't stop because someone says you're too much, or you're just working too hard, or whatever people say.
I'm too loud, I'm too large, I'm too threatening.
You're like, fuck yeah, baby, watch out. You might want to move. Freight train's coming.
I was remembering something I read this morning with Dane. He was saying about if the chair's uncomfortable, just ask the consciousness of the chair to make itself comfortable for you. Mm-hmm. And I think I could apply that to quite a few areas of my life.
Absolutely. Like what if that that was the infiniteness of you, that you could literally look around. Like I look around my room, in the house, in the house I live in. And I really have invited this house to contribute to me. It's a part of my world. It contributes to my business. It contributes to my kiddo. It contributes to my body. It's yummy. And that's the demand in my world, that I live in a place that feels really like, when I walk in, I go, oh yay, I'm here. And like back to that, like the body piece, it's like there's a sensation that comes when I walk in the door of like, oh, I'm here. I'm in my home. Right? And it's just inviting that in. And yeah, so I'm like, I want to see. You're welcome. I want to see all the faces that are here. I'm looking through your faces. How's everybody doing? Good.
Maggie, can I just say there's another question in the chat?
Oh yeah, thank you. So Tanya, that's how I say it, correct, Tanya? Yeah, so what if they tried to silence you? What if they did? What if they did, and what if that didn't mean anything? Right? It's like, I mean, I was silenced as a kid in some way, not by someone saying shh, but I have an older sister that was the squeaky wheel who got the oil. It's taken me years to speak up, and I do now. It's taken me years to be like, no, that doesn't work for me. And I do now. What if that now it's like, you know what? I'm going to lower my barriers, and I'm going to be aware. I'm going to be vulnerable. That space of vulnerability that is your greatest, if you're looking for quote unquote protection, vulnerability is your greatest protection. Your body, your being will know what is coming to you before it does, and you get to choose. Right? And are you willing to say what you've always wanted to say, but you dare not say? Look at that. I saw that grin. What if you're like, who is waiting to hear what you have to say? Who's waiting for that? Mm-hmm. Cool. What else you got? Any other question? Yeah. And Anna just typed in the chat. So if you're wanting that question of who is waiting to hear what you have to say, you can copy that. So actually I'm going to pull up something for us to look at. Hold on a second here. You guys get to see this. Hold on, where are we? All right, I'm going to share my screen, because here's what I want. I really invite you to get the energy of this. You just get the energy of this. You don't need to choose. You don't need to do it. Just allow it to permeate your being. Because if you walk away from this conversation and you get this energy and it floods your life, that's one of the greatest gifts that I can contribute to you in my point of view. Like, what if you can? And, oh, I see John moving. Like it hit you. So this embodied live net has been keeping me up at night, and this is the beginning, because we have been taught for so long, and someone's at my door. Hold on a second here. We have been taught for so long that see if it's something important. Hold on a second. Someone's at my door. Hi, I'm just on a conference call. Sorry. Yeah. I just wanted to let you know I was going to be home for 10 days. Okay. From Friday to the 10th. Oh yes, I so forgot last night. I'm sorry. Thank you. Welcome to my world. So I hope you got to tap into embodied living while I did that. So anyways, back to get the energy of embodied living. This has been keeping me up at night in a be this invitation in the world. Be this. And so I be it. And I invite you to the beginning of something totally different, where the beliefs follow, the lack of the beliefs The neediness falls away and you get to create your life on your terms. It means that when anything comes your way, an argument, a paycheck, money on the ground, whatever it may be, it comes to you with ease and joy and glory, truly, no matter what, without a point of view. So this is, I'm just excited. So embodied living, the joy of having it all. Are you truly willing to have it all? There are no more parts, pieces, fragments, or separations from you or your body. What if when you walked into work, it wasn't about taking off one hat and stepping into something else, that you went in, you have your toolbox, you have your being, you have everything you know, and there you were. There was no on-off switch. It's like, it's almost as if like every little aspect of you has an on-off switch or a dimmer. Like, what if that wasn't the case? What if that wasn't the case? There was no more parts, pieces of you, and you got to show up and be everything, have everything. So do you wear different hats during the day and compartmentalize yourself? Checking in with you. I'm trying to I don't know if I can see everybody's faces. Do you? Have you decided that some things you can be something in some places, but you can't be it in others? You can't be too loud somewhere. You can't be, right? Like, let's just put a period there. Have you decided, or like, has someone been, you've decided you put someone is more powerful than you, so you have to shrink yourself? Are you willing to come out of that box or that corner of your being that someone has put you in? Because what if that didn't have to be the case? So if you're decided you're not doing enough, you're not being enough, you're not creating enough, you're ignoring your body so you can get ahead, but it's destroying everything else. What if that wasn't the case? What if everything that you, quote unquote, might be waiting for is waiting for you to just choose it? And it may not show up. It may not show up today. I know that. I want it, like, some things like 5 days ago, yesterday, today. But what if you could have all of you and you no longer negated it with any point of view? Because the world is waiting for you. It's waiting for you. And I invite you to be the pioneer of creating a life on your terms. Your terms. So get the energy of that. What is life on your terms? What is it? Do you know? Something to ponder, right? Something to be with, something to ask questions about. Like, oh, if I were creating my life on my terms, like, would I be here right now? Would I be listening to this? Would I, next after this, if I were creating life on my terms, what would I do next? And what would my physical reality be? What would my body reality be? What would my financial reality be? Would you be willing to be the pioneer of creating life on your terms? Is living life fully present is not what most people choose, nor do they think they're allowed to have. And that's actually, like, John, I just want to speak to you because you were saying, well, everybody, and to speak to what you were saying, it's like, how cool is it that you're so present with you that you know when it quote unquote, like, when the sense is that you've come so far and then you take a step back. Most people don't see that. Like, how cool is it that you already have that amount of presence with yourself and the choice to be like, this doesn't work for me. Next, I'm going forward. How cool is that? Yeah, I can see your head nodding. I can't hear you though. You're muted.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's when you just brought that to my attention, it's like I never looked at that from that awareness of, oh my God, I have that on my own self-awareness that things are really shifting. And when it goes to the other direction, I'm noticing that too. So I have to get out of the judgment of the good and the bad, or something feels good, or it's not something that makes me happy, but just open up to just the mere awareness of being present with me. So I never thought about that until you said that. Yeah. Cool.
Yay. How does it get better than that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you are present with your life, it expands exponentially. Hands down, hands up, hands down, have a little party, but when you're present with your life, it expands exponentially. Every aspect of your life can be ease, joy, and glory if you allow it to be. No part of you has to be left behind to suffer. None of it. Not your finances, not your body, not your relationships, not your business, nothing. Nothing has to be left behind. So my question for you is, are you ready to have all of you and have ask and you shall receive as your reality? Like truly. Yeah. Like not just like, yeah, I can ask and receive and I can get my parking spot and someone can buy me dinner. No. What else are you asking for? What else? The whole embodied you, the brilliance of you. Ask and you shall receive. So an embodied living, it's a way of life. It's a way of being, a practice, a presence, and a choice to create greater for you, your body, and the world. I'm slightly excited. Can you tell? Yeah. So just with what I'm also inviting you to, and I'm going to finish this and then we'll go have a bit more of a conversation too, but it's like using question, choice, possibility, and contribution and the tools of access consciousness to create greater with our bodies, the beings that we hang out with, our relationships, our finances, and more. And that, like, let's show the world what is possible. And it all starts with us. It's not about someone, like, if you're waiting for permission granted, you may now fly. Wings clipped, go. Because you showing up here in this conversation, you being here, you being present is a gift. You are a gift. So you're ready to have all of you without a point of view and lead the way to a totally different possibility with the way that we live on this planet in this 10 seconds, right? So what does this kind of entail? It's you'll get one 60-minute private session with me during it's a 3-month adventure. We do 2 group calls a month, and we're going to do a weekly energy pull to really pull in everything that we're asking for so that you can listen to all of that. And then, of course, you'll get the recordings of the calls. I tell you, it's priceless, I tell you. And then a monthly PDF sheet to really play with, like, well, what is my reality? What is embodied living for me? And really get clear of, like, is this mine or is this someone else's? So that you can clean out the cobwebs and pull in everything that is you. So the value of it, $1,700, and I'm inviting you all for, I'm like, I can't say that in the proper, 1,125 for all 3 months, or 375 for just you pay monthly to create ease, choose what works for you. There's no added fee for the payments. It's just like, what would you like to choose? And are you ready to live fully embodied? And it is, so wherever you are in the world, global pricing. So you can pick your pricing here. And here's, before I pop off to go over here, is we're looking at what is your reality with your body? Who are you inviting into your life? Receiving money with ease, even when you don't think you deserve it, or you can have it. How are you going to pay for that? Creating with money to enhance your embodied life. What is your reality? Are you choosing for or against you? And who said you can't have it all? No more cutting you out of your life. So those are our main topics. And then we'll have our energy pulls as well. So I am going to bump us off the share and bring us back to here. And just really invite you, and I'm going to do full screen, Brady Bunch style, invite you into this possibility. The link is there. Michelle just beautifully popped the link in there. I would just, you're invited. Know that you're invited to this possibility. And the embodied living is a practice. It's a way. It's something about being immersed and continually choosing for you, as you, in your body, with your body, and everything that is you that you don't even know of yet. Cool. So I'm like, with that, any questions for me?
Maggie, I wondered if you would talk to something, and that is the awareness that we potentially misapply and misidentify as either fear and anxiety around this, and it's possibly actually our own excitement, or even where we perceive other people's discomfort at the choices that we make.
Okay.
Because I'm just really aware, even though I know this is not mine, like since the beginning of the call and you started talking about this, my body is going crazy with that kind of sense of fear and anxiety.
Cool.
So I just wanted to bring it up on everyone's behalf.
So, thank you. I know, it's like, okay, so how many of you like listening now and in the future are like, oh God, if I choose that, everybody's going to hate me, or oh God, what if I choose, like, okay, so first of all, everything that is times a godzillion, can we destroy it and create it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So truth. If you were to choose this, or like stepping into everything that you are, what would your life and living be like in 5 years? And truth, if you weren't to choose it, and you weren't to, like, it's just a simple choice. If you weren't to choose it in 5 years, what would your life and living be like? And so when we do this, you can tap into the energy of like so let me actually even, put in yummy if I choose it. Cool cat. Yay. When we look at the energy of things, so tap into the energy of you right now. Okay. And this is how you can, this is actually like, wow. I'm like, let's go here. Tap into the energy of you right now. And if you have any barriers up, let them fall. Be like, I'm just going to be really present with this right now, and really present with my body. And like, there's the perceive the sense of like the fear, or the like, I couldn't even choose it if I wanted to. Or the like, I'm fucking having it. Where's the link again? Like, wherever you are, right? Is like, just check in. Where are you? And it's like, what if there was no right or wrong choice? What if there was like, and so is that sensation fear? Is it excitement? Is it like sheer, like, is it something even beyond excitement that's like, holy shit, this is what I've been asking for? Yeah. So let's actually let all of those energies that no longer serve you dissolve and dissipate, so you can tap into more and more of you. So sadness. Cool. Can you say more about the sadness?
It was like, if I don't change it, I might as well die. Mm-hmm. And if I do change it, I just felt this overwhelming feeling of sadness.
Cool. So if you don't change it, you might as well die. And if you do change it, will you die?
It feels like others will.
Cool. So everything that is times a godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it.
Yeah.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So truth, if you look at that, is it the sadness of all, like, could it be, and it might not be, could it be the sadness of all the limitation that has kind of been your friend for the last however many years?
Part of it.
Part of it. Cool. And is it like, it's that conversation, am I willing, like, as we step into this, like, I'm having my power and potency, I'm having it, right? It's there, right? And then there's the willingness to lose everything. That does not mean you lose everything. It's the willingness, because what we are not willing to lose locks us. It locks us and it keeps us right where we are. Right? And so it's not... Mm-hmm.
It's about the fact that there's such a depth of caring in me and kindness, and that has been backfiring on me horribly for a very long time. Mm-hmm. And it's that has to change, that it's not that my abilities aren't held back by that being manipulated against me constantly.
Cool. Cool. So are you willing to be the kindness you are for others for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Mm.
And can I like, where's your husband? Let's get him in on this.
He's gone in the other room. He doesn't want to be right now.
No. I'm just teasing. But to have, say what you said again.
It's not a joke.
Which part?
What you just said.
To have him in here?
No. Never mind.
Okay. So what if you could be that kindness for you?
I have to be.
Yeah. So here's something else too. I was having this conversation on a different retreat I just co-facilitated last Wednesday. We were talking about the whole piece about choosing for you and how that's selfish and how that's terrible and how that's wrong and how that's like you're leaving everyone behind. And so we were clearing that, because it's like the more I've stood and become more of me, and like had my knowing as my source from, how do I say that? My knowing as my source of like where I go to make my choices in my life very quickly. I don't have to sit back and I don't have to ask permission anymore. I choose from what will create greater, not only for me, not only for my body, but for the world and around me, right? But what we were talking about too is the more I stand in my power, and the ladies in the circle were saying this too, the more I have me and I choose for me, the less and less like backlash or whiplash from other people comes into my world. Okay. So it's like when you are like, no, this is me. This is my life. That's not a separation. It's an acknowledgement of the greatness of yourself and who you be as a being. The being of you, the greatness of you, that allows, like it becomes an energy that stuff isn't welcome in your world anymore. Sure, like I said, people will try, but it won't have that effect on you anymore. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. I always enjoy your questions on our conversations.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Does anybody else? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There was a comment in the chat from Tanya as well.
She has gone away somewhere. She's back. You're muted. I'm reading lips. You're good. Did you mean energetically you went? You're like check out, or you just?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I just quite a lot of the time on the call, I've just been somewhere else. Because like, part of me is going, I can't understand what's going on. I haven't got a clue, and I haven't got the access to speak. So it's like, what is happening? I have no clue, really.
Okay. So cool. So what if that was a gift that you were receiving it energetically?
Okay, yeah, that's why I'm still here, obviously.
Yeah.
I sort of pick myself up and gone. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. Thank you. What else? Anybody else have questions? So just a tidbit. I just want to I'm like, what kind of like my body's like, Michelle, did that kind of get at what you were looking at as well, what you were aware of?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So what, like, as we finish this conversation, you know, what would you like to choose? What can you now choose that you were not able to choose before? And what can you now include and have yourself as an embodied living being, walking, talking, miracle that you be, what can you step forward to and choose now? And know that you are invited to the embodied living, the beginning, the beginning, because this is the beginning, right? You don't have to get it. You don't have to have it all together. It's the beginning, the simple choice of beginning and beginning again and again and again. So what can you choose now? And as we leave this conversation, or if you're listening in the future as the sound goes quiet, what do you now know? What has been revealed to you through the conversation, and what can you step into? And would you be so daring to be the leader of creating a reality on your terms with EJG? Yeah. So the link is there. Come join me. I'll be playing. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ciao. Bye-bye.
Bye.